Hello, everybody. My name is Christopher Saunders, and this is the Connecticut Sports Talent Show, where we talk all things talents in Connecticut. And on tonight's show, I'll be having a first-time guest and also a first-time person in terms of indoor and outdoor track and cross country as well. From the Woodland Hawks, Alex Farr. Alex, I appreciate you coming on.
Of course, yeah, it's a pleasure to be here.
First and foremost, although I'm forgetting the young man's name who actually gave me your name on Instagram and said, "Hey, you got to have this kid on because he's a great track runner and he does great things." I don't know if you know who I'm referring to, but it's
Yeah,
awesome.
one of my best friends, Luke, he's another track runner down at Woodland with me, and he saw your page and I guess just sent my name in.
And it worked out well because now you're
Yeah.
here.
Oh yeah, worked out great.
So let's kind of talk a little bit about because I've never, like I said, I've never had a cross country runner indoor and outdoor track. So it's very unique, I think, to be able to have you as a guest. You mentioned you played soccer a little bit, which is great because I felt like soccer kind of helps with the endurance and it kind of keeps you in shape because you're constantly running. But
Yeah.
as far as just the ability and you loving to run, where did that come from?
No, yeah. Starting out, it really started to hit me around, I'd say like last winter when I was like, this is amazing. Like I want to keep doing this throughout college. And before that, in like my 4 years of high school, I played soccer. So it kind of kickstarted, I would say around winter last year. My coach decided to put me in the 800 and kind of just fell in love with it. It's a love-hate relationship. Like you're gonna have to go through a lot of pain, but in the end, I think it's just worth it.
And you mentioned the pain side. I think a lot of people, when they think about athletes going through pain, like basketball, you think of the knees because running up and down the court, football with the constant hitting, baseball with, if you're a catcher, having to squat down, if you're a pitcher, throwing a lot of pitches, so on and so forth. For
Yeah.
a runner, what kind of pain, I guess, are you dealing with?
It's kind of a mix between like mental and physical, but physically it's just like working your legs till you can't feel them anymore. And then on the mental side, it's just being able to really like keep yourself in the race and keep going. When like for example, like there's someone in front of me, I'm not just gonna let him stay there. Like you just gotta keep going.
Is that kind of like when you see somebody in front of you? Not to say it bruises the ego, but everybody's got an ego, and it depends on where the ego is. If it's kind of crossing the line of being maybe too much. But for you, is it almost like I can't have that person in front of me? I know that I've worked too hard to be behind that person. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, 100%. And there's always gonna be people in front of you, so it's like just the next step. And the harder you work, the faster you get. So
Now, with you being a senior, you're kind of the last class, I think, as far as high school that was affected by COVID, as
yeah.
far as just with all of that involved. Did COVID, because your sport's a lot more unique than football, than basketball, than baseball, even soccer to a certain degree. You know what I'm saying? Where you're outside, you're not inside. Things were kind of cooped up and with COVID and all that. Did COVID-19 affect you or the overall ability with track at all?
Oh yeah, 100%. My freshman year is when our outdoor season got canceled for track. And before that, I was mostly focused on soccer. Like I came into high school and I was like, man, like I want to do soccer and I want to go into college playing soccer. And indoor track, I was just like, yeah, do it so you get a little bit faster when you're playing. But after indoor track, I was a sprinter. So it was like, why not just come out for outdoor and see how it goes? And then it was actually the first day of our outdoor season. And after that, just everything got canceled.
How tough was that for you when everything got canceled, man? Because I know when talking with other athletes, again, dumb question, but with a lot of the athletes I've had on when I first started the podcast during when COVID-19 became what it was, the mental side I felt like was the biggest thing where it was the question of A, is this ever going to end? Because there were moments where COVID-19 was going to be here for the rest of our lives, we'd be cooped up inside in our little corners. And also, two, being able to do what everybody loved. If it was a teacher, being able to teach. If it was a track runner, being able to run. if it was just whatever the case may be. How was it for you?
Oh, it was definitely difficult. And I mean, I know when it first started, they said we'd only be out for like 3 weeks, and then it just kept on extending and went for I don't even remember how long. But it's definitely difficult just like having to stay inside all day and not being able to like go out and hang with my friends or go to practices. But like at the end of the day, I was always outside and I was either running or playing soccer. So I think I found a way to kind of manage it.
When was it for you where things started to feel normal again in terms of both school and also when you were playing the sports that you loved?
Yeah, I'd probably say around the end of my sophomore year to the start of my junior year. I mean, I know like all of my sophomore year I had different class schedules and like I would be home one day of the week and it would just kind of like flip on and off. But I didn't really get back to like the whole entire high school experience and playing the sports that I loved until like the start of junior year.
How important, I guess maybe is the right word, where even though your first 2 years were kind of, as I mentioned during the basketball seasons, where as a senior as you are now, the freshman season, depending on where you were in the tournament, you lost that. And then the sophomore year was a shortened season and it was just wonky. It was weird. No fans in the stands, wearing masks, et cetera. For you, the junior year was really that year where things were starting to come back to normal before we have what's in front of us now. Do you feel like that you now are able to finally enjoy now what's left of your high school career because things are back to normal?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, those 2 years, I mean, maybe like if we did have school, it'd be a different outcome, but like I'm not gonna go back and change it. And I don't think I would if I could. So I think that I'm definitely ready to just get these last few months done and really focus.
When you were in your junior year, was there anything as far as the past 2 years? I know again with COVID and all that, but did to be able to look at the glass half full, because you had so much time in between, were you able to kind of learn either in soccer or your running ability to help prepare you to where you are now, where you're going to the University of Tampa, Division II for college?
No, yeah, I mean, I learned a lot. I think one of the biggest lessons is just to be patient, let everything happen the way it's gonna happen and just kind of do whatever you can to make yourself better day by day.
Now I got to ask because obviously I know the football team had a lot of success. Did you ever get asked to maybe come away from soccer and do football a little bit?
Ah, I mean, never directly by a coach, but definitely players on the football team just asking like come out and I mean, if I could, I think it would be fun, just to go and play. But
Now, which ones was it? Was it Morales? Was it Gasperi? Was it Master Petro or whoever? I mean, was it one of those guys?
oh yeah, no, I mean Darren, great quarterback, and
Yep.
same thing with Morales and Master Petro. They're all great players, and they're pretty close friends to me. So I mean, I would love to go out there and play with them, but just not my sport.
Now there was one other player too, the tight end. What was it? Michael Strachan, right?
Yeah.
Strachan, whichever. I always get the name mixed up, but yeah, he was big, dude. He's a big
Oh
tight
yeah.
end.
No, yeah, he was really big. He was a great player too.
So back to you. So you get to your senior year currently right now. You played soccer a little bit. And how was that knowing that your final, I guess, unless you want to play club or just play for fun, but your final high school season, how did that go for soccer for you?
Oh, I mean, it went pretty good. Last year we had a lot of seniors, so coming in this year, no one really expected anything too great out of all of us. And the thing that I kind of just preached is just go out and play and like don't worry about what other people have to say. And that's exactly what we did. We had a great season, but
Now, when you look at kind of how you turn the page with that, right? Your soccer career is over, but you still have what you're going to college for, right? And
yeah,
you tell me about kind of the times, and you want to be able to run a certain time, right? You were
yeah.
telling me that during our conversations on Instagram. Just kind of tell me. because a couple minutes sounds like, oh yeah, if I want to run 550 or 559, whatever the case may be, it's not too hard. Well, it is when it comes to running because those couple minutes you save is like a lot of work. Just talk to me about that because I think a lot of people may not understand that.
No, yeah. So I mean, the shorter the distance, it really the time kind of goes down. Like sprinters work so hard and only drop a few, like I would say like point 0.2 of a second in their time, and that's like a huge deal. But for me, it was mostly based off of seconds, just how many seconds I can get down, whether it's 1 or 2 laps, just pacing myself to get those exact times.
Now, for you to get to that point, what kind of training, if you could share, have you done to try to accomplish that feat?
No, yeah, it's a lot of training. Since I'm more of like in the middle, like I'm not really like an all-out sprinter, but I'm not an all-out cross-country runner. It's a lot of both, I would say. I think during the summer I was always out running 5Ks, 10Ks, just to work on my pace and my speed, the longer distances. And I mean that'll build up endurance. And now the main focus is just like getting that strength and that speed to really be able to push it and kick it home.
Now I have to ask too, because as a somebody who listens to a lot of music in the gym, especially to running, I need the music to kind of get me going, right? So what
Oh,
kind of music are you listening to? What's in the Alex Farr Spotify, if you have that?
ooh, okay. It's I get a pretty wide variety of music. Mostly I would have to say, hip hop, just getting it going. And anything that's just like chill and I could just like listen to while I'm going out.
So what kind of hip hop? I'm familiar with some guys, so I may recognize some of the names. Who's in that?
Yeah, definitely Eminem. Huge Eminem guy.
Really? See that
Yeah, I
I'm
guess so,
surprised by that because Eminem is more like because it's more kind of like my generation where so Eminem is your kind of thing too, huh?
oh yeah, 100%. It can go from him, and
Mhm.
then I mean like if I'm listening to like whatever, I could listen to like Adele, just
Really? Even Adele too? Really?
oh yeah, wide variety. I mean, it all depends on what I'm running to.
Interesting. So if you're motivated, it's probably more Eminem, but if you're looking for a nice smooth run, maybe a day like today before the rain,
Oh
maybe
yeah.
Adele's probably going to be in there as well.
Yeah, just some nice chill music that you go run and vibe to.
Okay. So Travis Scott and Fetty Wap and all that, no go with them.
I mean, they're in there too, but like,
I was gonna say because I know them, maybe not Fetty Wap, but I know there is some music that is, Travis Scott is still kind of popular even now,
oh yeah,
you know. But that's awesome to be able to hear the eclectic music that you listen to. Now, is country as well sprinkled in there as well?
a little bit, yeah. Not as much as when I'm running, but definitely a big country music guy.
Yeah, it helps during the summer when the weather's a little bit nicer,
Oh
right?
yeah, definitely.
So as you only got a couple months left of school. Now outdoor track, how has that been going so far? I know today was a little weird. It rained till about 10 or 11, then the sun was out by 1. A little weird. But
Yeah.
how was it? I know you mentioned how you ran today and it was a beautiful day to do that. How was that?
No, yeah, it was great. And so I have practice every single day with my team. And before that, if I have the time, get up in the morning and go. And then normally after practice, I'll head over to the gym and just work.
Now, what kind of workouts, again, because you don't want to put too much on your body and wear yourself out to a point where you could risk injury, right?
Yeah.
So when you go to the gym after doing the workouts and such beforehand, so you're basically doing 2 workouts. What kind of stuff are you doing specifically to not cause a potential injury for yourself?
No, yeah. So it's a lot of lighter weight and more reps kind of things. Make sure to roll out at the gym and get a lot of mobility exercises, whether it's with my hips or my feet and my ankles. But overall it's not, I wouldn't say like bodybuilding, but it's definitely just working out the muscles and making sure they're healthy and not going to get injured.
I was going to say the workouts that I could picture a runner is not picking up 50-pound dumbbells and squatting about 300. You
Oh
know,
yeah.
Now, maybe after when your career is done, maybe you'll want to get to that point. But right now, because I think what if you lift too heavy, wouldn't that put a little bit too much stress on the hamstrings and such just because of what you do as far as your sport?
No, yeah, I mean, like lifting heavy, you can do it once or twice a week, and it just depends on like what you're doing that day. I mean, if I have an easier day, I can lift a little bit heavier, but it's just really important to like get that recovery in afterwards too.
Alex, I really appreciate you coming on. A lot of fun being able to talk with you. Before I let you go, you'll be heading to Tampa in 8 months, 9 months, wherever the case may be. My math is terrible, but you'll be there in the fall, Division Two. Have you looked towards that yet, or is it kind of like in the back of your mind for now because of obviously you being in season?
No, yeah, I'm definitely really excited for it. I think it's just the next step in my running career, and academically, they were a great school too. So I think it's a really good fit, and I'm really ready to just go and take the next step.
Well, Alex, I appreciate you coming a lot, coming on. A lot of fun being able to talk with you. Best of luck with the rest of your season. And hopefully I can get you back on before you head over to Tampa and we could do this again sometime.
Sweet. Thank you so much.
No problem. I'll wrap things up here on the Connecticut Sports Talent Show. So until next time, stay safe. Remember, CT stands for Connecticut Talent. I'm Jerry. Find them all. Enjoy the rest of your day, everybody, and be well.